Hi class, it's Brother Wahlquist. This week we have some wonderful things to study out of the book of Moses. We get to see the story of Enoch. I love this story. In Moses 7, Moses writes, after Zion was taken up into heaven in 2003 in his incredible talk entitled The Grandeur of God, Elder Holland says that this story takes place with Enoch talking to God the Father. Most of the communications between prophets and God is prophets and Jesus and prophets and Jehovah, who is Jesus. But this is God the Father having this dialogue with Enoch because Enoch's been lifted up to God's home. He looks back upon the earth and he sees what's coming with the flood and future destructions. And he turns and looks at God in verse 28 and he sees God. And again, Elder Holland calls this God the Father. He sees God the Father weeping. And Enoch asked the incredible question, verse 28, how is it that the heavens can weep? Enoch said, how is it that thou canst weep, seeing that thou art holy? I pondered a lot that scene with Enoch in heaven, standing next to the Father, looking back at the earth, and Heavenly Father begins to weep. But what he said, I can't get out of my mind. I use it for my judgment in how I serve and how I treat others. Listen to what the Father says to Enoch as he turns and says to Enoch, beginning in verse 32, I created man, and in the Garden of Eden, I gave unto him his agency. I gave man agency, and I only wanted two things. One, I commanded them that they should love one another. Two, choose me. Choose me to be their God. The Father is crying because we, and I'm sure at times me, have misused agency in those two areas. I haven't shown enough love to those around me. And I've let other things come between me and God. Well, there's a lot more to this story, but I want us to ponder this week those two things that I've been pondering for years. Am I using my agency to love one another and to choose God? If not, the Lord is it I question comes into mind. Is it me? What can I do? What can I do to change? I lost my suit coat today, so I thought I'd add just a little bit to the end of the clip I made yesterday for this week on Zion. I've been thinking a lot about President Nelson's most recent talk on Revelation for the church and Revelation for our lives. So I just wanted to point out this really simple formula that President Nelson gave us in this last conference in October of 2018. He invites us to do these things. Find a quiet place where you can go regularly. Humble yourself before God. Pour out your heart to Heavenly Father and turn to Him for answers. Find a quiet place, humble yourself, pour out your heart, and turn to God for answers. And I would like to just add my testimony to the idea of pouring out your heart to God. I have been guilty of so many times saying my prayers, but not talking to God. Just check mark, Heavenly Father, thanks. I need a few things. See you later. Instead of really opening up my heart. So when it comes to how can I be better, how can I be more Zion-like, how can I choose God and put Him first, and how can I make sure that I am loving one another, I need to learn how to really pray. And my Heavenly Father will answer those prayers. I know that's true. Have a great week.